Hey friends, welcome back to Extraordinary Strides. I'm going to be your fairy run mother for today, Coach Christine. And today I've got, of course, a very special guest joining me. Ashley, friend of the podcast from Mystical Dream Travel, is here with us because we're teaming up for something truly epic. We're going to have the Extraordinary Celebration Retreat this January 2026 at Walt Disney World here in Orlando, Florida. Lots of sunshine that time of year should be coming our way. This retreat brings together the best of movement, lots of adventure, and of course, celebration as we kick off a new year in 2026 in only the way that the extraordinary runners can. So whether you're joining us for yoga and a 5K or heading off for an epic day at Universal with us, maybe racing the celebration half or full, this is going to be unforgettable. Let me go ahead and bring Ashley on so we can give you all of the details. Hey, Ashley, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me back. I am so excited for this weekend. We have so much in store. I'm so excited to get everything kind of out there and get working our way towards January 2026 to see wonderful members of the league.
Yes, I'm super excited because this is an opportunity for whether you're a podcast listener, you're a casual Extraordinary Strides fan, or you're part of the Extraordinary League, or maybe just a huge Disney fan or Epic fan, and you want to be around like-minded folks, this is the opportunity to join us because Ashley is our official theme park specialist. So I generally always refer to her as like our official Run Disney and Disney specialist, but honestly, Ashley does so much more than that. Theme park, cruises, all of that with Mystical Dream Travel. So she's helping to curate the facets of traveling to the parks and making it work for you and what you want specifically, because we're going to have different options. While I can't wait to discuss a little bit about the movement that we've got going for that weekend. I think it's just going to be a whole lot of fun. One thing that I feel whenever we have a gathering of our community, Ashley, that I kind of walk away from is just everybody's so positive. Everyone's upbeat. Everyone's so encouraging and supportive. And that's what this weekend is really all about.
Yeah, we have such a wonderful group of ladies and gentlemen that will be joining us and their families.
Yes.
It's always such a positive and uplifting experience when we all get together, which is why we thought this was a perfect opportunity to have kind of a fun little weekend getaway specifically for running, of course, but also to get to know those other folks that are members of the group, to kind of maybe find your new running buddy or walking buddy, or maybe even just have a good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be anchoring this entire weekend in 3 themes. Of course, the epic, the extraordinary, and the celebration of it all. But before we get into that aspect, I want to make sure that we kind of walk through what people can expect. So let's start with the very beginning, the dates. Now, this is one of the ways that we can explain to you that it's so easy when you work with Ashley to kind of curate this in a way that makes sense to you. Maybe you only have a 3-day weekend to pop on down. Cool, we can make that work. Maybe you have a little bit more time and you want to expand it. Officially, though, we're going to be welcoming folks starting on Wednesday the 21st. Some folks are coming in on Thursday the 22nd. And then our official adventure kicks off that evening with a welcome, and we will have a lot of fun on Friday as well. So, Ashley, let's start with our welcome officially on Thursday for folks, if that sounds good. Or maybe, no, let's start about the people who maybe want to arrive a little early. So there's the arrival day option of January 21st. Where are people arriving to?
So we have folks staying at Caribbean Beach, Riviera Resort, or Pop Century Resort. Those kind of resorts were specifically picked just to make it easy for folks going back and forth kind of between each resort, so you can come do all of the fun festivities that we have in store. You have Pop Century, which is a value resort. It is one of my favorite value resorts, so I love that. You have Caribbean Beach, which is a moderate level resort, so you have some extra little amenities from the Pop Century. We do have quite a few folks staying there, so that will be kind of our central hub for a lot of the activities kind of to come. And then we also have the Riviera Resort, which is your deluxe level resort. Like I said, these are all on the Skyliner route. Riviera Resort and Caribbean Beach are walkable between the two. It is a little bit of a walk, but very much doable. Pop Century is a little bit down the road. So either using that Skyliner or using a bus transportation or Uber to kind of get back and forth.
And of course, while you do not have to stay on property to join us for the festivities that we're planning for the week, it's going to be so much easier for you. So if you're able to connect with Ashley, again, these resorts were thoughtfully curated and selected so that it maximizes your time on property, maximizes your time with the community, gets you to all the different places that you need to be that weekend without having to stress out about traffic or driving yourself. And it helps also with the different levels of where it would fit into your budget. So again, Ashley's going to help you with that. If you do decide that you want to join in on the 21st, Ashley can help you with maybe you want to go hit a theme park. Maybe you want to settle in for a relaxing resort day. We'll have all of those options available, but we're also welcoming folks to come in on the 22nd. And that's when we'll officially have our extraordinary welcome that evening. It's a casual mixer. Those details are going to be more handed out closer to as terms of the time and the location. But we do know that we're going to have an extraordinary welcome hangout for everybody to kind of settle in and say hello. I can't stress enough, though, how low pressure we are about these things. We're going to make sure that you have the option of making your days as busy or as restful as you would like them to be. Is that not kind of how you feel about it as well?
Absolutely. We're going to have so many options to kind of go back and forth. So there's a little bit for everybody, and you don't have to be a runner. You can be a walker or you can be a spectator. Love everybody that shows up. We're going to welcome you with open arms, and happy to kind of get to know you if we haven't met you already.
I always talk about these kind of things that we do as almost utilizing the Disney terminology of when you decide to dine at one of their buffets, where it's take as much as you care. So I love that phrase because it's truly you're in control. You can make this really customized to whatever you prefer, and you can plan it one way and then decide on something else closer too. So don't feel like this has to be super over the top, stressful. Maybe you're looking for rest, or maybe you're like, all I want is adventure. Well, we have that in store because on Friday the 23rd, we're going to make quite the epic outing because we have two tracks. Either you can join me as we head to Universal Epic for an adventure that day. We'll have group transportation thanks to Ashley at Mystical Dream Travel, who's of course going to curate all of that for us. We're going to have the opportunity to experience all that Epic has to offer. And then we'll also have lunch and dinner together inside the park that day with the option of coming back with the group transportation, or if you decide you want to hang out because you can't wait to Epic until they close the party down, feel free to do so. We'll have some suggestions for your travel that you would have to do on your own to come back. Ashley, what about the other track, for track number 2, for folks who are like, I have no desire to go to Epic or ride the rides?
So for those folks that don't want to go to Epic Universe, you are going to be missing out on all of that fun, but you will be joining me. We will be kind of hanging out around the resorts, maybe doing a little park time. I know myself, I'm looking forward to going into some of parks. And then in the evening, we are going to kind of have a casual dinner together. I'm not quite sure exactly where, what resort, what time yet. So more to kind of come on that, but it is going to be a dinner at the resorts. So for those that aren't going to Epic, you will certainly have some fun. I'm more than willing to kind of show some people around the parks and give them some of my personal tips and tricks. Because as many of you know, I am often down at the parks like I'm a local.
So for the record, I think that we're going to have a little mini friendly competition to see who gets to have more fun that day, track 1 or track 2. But what I can guarantee you is that whatever you choose, you're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to connect with others that are like-minded. You're going to enjoy yourself. So that's the most important thing. There is no right or wrong answer with whatever you decide to do. I feel like I'm already a little envious of track 2 folks because I'm going to miss out on that dinner at the resorts, but it's okay. We'll make up for it. We'll have our fun at Epic. And then we're all going to try to go to bed a little earlier because Saturday, we're going to kick things off with an extraordinary day, of course. We're going to have our 7 a.m. group yoga. This is a fantastic way. It's going to be a gentle flow. So this is a great way, whether you're a full-on yogi or you're kind of new, or maybe you have difficulty even thinking of touching your toes, you feel a little bit like Tin Man, we have an incredible yoga teacher who is going to definitely work with your level and make sure that you feel nice and warmed up for the extraordinary 5K shakeout run. But it's not just any shakeout run, because we are going to have medals and finisher shirts for you to celebrate that 3.11 around the resorts. I can't wait for you guys to join in on that as well. And then what are we doing afterwards, Ashley?
After we get in our lovely miles, we will be having breakfast at the quick service at Caribbean Beach. So like I said, Caribbean Beach is going to kind of be our central location for a lot of these events. It's kind of right in the middle of both the deluxe and moderate resort, or I'm sorry, the deluxe and the value resort. So we have picked that for many of our kind of events throughout the weekend. So we'll grab a quick bite to eat and then head back to the room for some getting ready time. A few of us will be doing some park time. You can do some pool time, or maybe even just sit around.
I know. I love that. There's no reason not to get in some extra rest or pool time, because of course we're all going to gather again for an early dinner. And the reason why we're going to do a little bit of an early dinner that night is because I may have buried the lead if you guys couldn't figure it out quite yet. We're going to be gathering on Sunday, January 25th for the Celebration half or full marathon in the beautiful town of Celebration, Florida, minutes away from Walt Disney World Resort, in one of my all-time favorite races. It's the perfect race if you are looking for a PR, if you're looking for a beginner-friendly or a back-of-the-pack party pace-friendly type course, if you're looking at maybe expanding your horizons in 2026 and you're looking for something a little new in terms of what you want to test yourself with a pace, this is the race to do it at. It's put on by an incredible group of folks. We've had them on the podcast before. They are avid runners. They have a community that supports this. It's going to be a fantastic time. They've given us a discount code, extra 2026 for extra 2026 to save $15. They have a tiered pricing. Pricing does continue to go up. So I wouldn't wait too long. If this is something you're considering, I'd go ahead and lock that in. And then again, Ashley is curating our transportation to the location. So we'll have transportation heading out from the resorts there, or you can meet us there as well. There's, again, we're very flexible. Now, Ashley, are we going to have an official kind of cheer squad? Because I'm down with that.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of race would it be without a cheer squad? So, we're going to have some of those.
So if you're bringing family, loved ones, they have no desire to run the half or the full, maybe running is something that they only do if they're being chased, but they are great with a cowbell or pom-poms or with crafting together some really good cheer signs. We will have an official extraordinary cheer squad put together for them to all kind of keep each other company as they're cheering on all of the runners and walkers that day. Because again, this is also a very walk-friendly pace. And then we're going to go back to the resort, relax a little bit, because Ashley's got a plan for us to celebrate at Epcot.
Of course, what better way to celebrate than to toast around the world. I know many folks will enjoy this one. We're going to kind of maybe get a little taste of France, maybe a little Italy, America. I got a couple things up my sleeve. So looking to celebrate everybody's lovely milestones, whether that's finishing a half, finishing a full, getting up that morning.
Or the 5K from the day before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, there's all sorts of ways to celebrate. I'm curious, Ashley, when you're thinking of celebrating in Epcot, what's your go-to?
Oh, man. I regret the last time I was down there did not end up getting a moonshine sour from America, and it has been taunting me since. So that is exactly where I'm going first.
I didn't even know they had a moonshine sour.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Really? See, this is the problem with going to Epcot for me. I go to like my standby. My first location is always to get a flute of champagne from France. And then I don't necessarily get too far in the park before going back through that line. So I'm going to have to expand my horizons. Maybe that will be the night where I finally do. That sounds truly like an extraordinary way to celebrate an incredible weekend. There'll be plenty of time to discuss with your fellow community. And again, you're welcome to be with the group, break off and do your own things. If your desire is to go and get into the Guardians of Galaxy, or you want to ride rides, you have a dinner reservation inside of Epcot, there's multiple different options for you. And Ashley will help you to find the right itinerary for you. The next morning, we're going to have to, unfortunately, this is going to be the hardest and saddest day. We're going to have to say farewell, but we're going to leave energized and connected, inspired, ready to take on the rest of our 2026 with that extraordinary spirit that we built from that entire weekend. So we'll have a bit of a closing reflection and a farewell. It'll be informal because everybody's going to be flying out at different times, but we'll have that also at the Caribbean Beach Resort as our primary focus and kind of our headquarters for the weekend. And Ashley, when folks reach out to you, what are some of the things that they should be prepared to ask you or to suggest to you or to tell you so that you are able to help create the right itinerary for them?
Yeah, so I think the main kind of thing is obviously knowing what your budget is, who's going to be coming with you, and what dates of travel that you really want to kind of highlight. Everything else we can kind of mix and match, to fit your needs. Obviously, we have some folks going to Epic, some folks hanging out at the resorts. There's a little bit of everything. So just kind of really understanding how much or how little that you want to get out of this weekend is really important when you're kind of looking at this. But ultimately, it all revolves around your dates of travel that you want to do. Do you want to stay a little bit longer? We do have some folks coming in early and staying late, maybe visiting some of the other Universal parks as well. So I can certainly build an itinerary based off of any of your needs. Definitely, we can always note dietary restrictions or anything like that to help make sure that you have an enjoyable trip with yourself, your friends, your family, whoever will be joining you. But obviously with this group, you are always our friend. We are always happy to kind of help you through this, but understanding kind of what you are looking to get out of this vacation is definitely really important. I do have a Google Sheet form that you can fill out for some of those quote requests. Once I get that, I can go ahead and send you over some different options. Based off of that, again, we will be coordinating transfers for several of these events if you need that. If you won't be driving, or maybe you're coming into the airport and don't want to do a rental car, I can help with all of that stuff. We will have pricing kind of closer to once we have a final number of folks joining. And then unfortunately, we are still waiting on Universal. I know that has been the $1,000,000 question for Epic. I know we have a bunch of folks looking to join Coach Christine for that Epic day, but we are still waiting on them to release their ticketing for 2026. So I'm hoping to have that soon. So if you do put down that you want Epic, that is coming. As soon as I have the information, I will be sure to let all of you know. But again, I have been to all of these parks, including Epic Universe. So I am going to make sure you have all of the information that you need to make sure you and your families have the best day possible.
I think that's what I really want to drive home that's super important about this is that, yes, I think planning vacations can be a whole lot of fun, but when it comes to both these theme parks, be it that you want to do more Disney stuff or you want to do more Universal stuff, there's so many things that change so frequently with both of these parks that it's really important to have a professional that can kind of help you navigate those changes, that stays ahead of those changes. I mean, as somebody who's here local and goes all the time, there's still constant changes that I don't know about, that I'm kind of clueless about, that thankfully Ashley will clue me in occasionally on it. If I mention, I was like, oh, they still do this. And she's like, no, they don't. And they're just constantly revolving and changing things, which makes it exciting, keeps it fresh, but also can be a little bit hard to kind of navigate, which is why when you do have Ashley to help with all of that aspect of it, I want to reiterate again, Ashley's not making any money off of booking this for you. She's just really here to help you navigate and work through the itinerary in a way that works best for you and make suggestions based off of what your needs, desires, and your budget may be. With that said, of course, I love the movement aspect. So whether it's because we're going to get our steps in at the Epic universe, or because we're going to get in a 5K together, or maybe you're joining for the half or the full, or doing some yoga, I really believe in the beauty and joy of celebrating that our bodies can move, but even more so when we're able to do it with community and together. So I really would love to see you guys, if you've been kind of teetering on the idea of I want to do a half marathon, or maybe I want to train for a PR for a half marathon. This is the race that I think you should do it at. It's low pressure. It's not like a Run Disney race where you have to get up at 2:00 in the morning and walk 3 miles to get to the start line. Those can be a little bit harder to navigate as a first time or even a PR race, where this race might really be the opportunity for you to do it being flat, fast, put on by runners, and something that I've done several times can help you navigate as well. So if you're curious about joining a Celebration Half Marathon and you'd like to hear more about training, I'm going to be kicking off a 16-week program on October 6th. Please feel free to use that link or just reply, respond. You can join in on the fun with the Extraordinary League. If you're looking for the marathon, or maybe you're looking for the 5K on Saturday and you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what we're here for. What are some of the things, like if you wish that you could explain to people like what you think is truly epic about this upcoming retreat, what would you say it be?
Oh man, I think it's definitely getting together with everybody. I know we have a bunch of wonderful people. A lot of our moderators that you hear on the podcast from time to time will be joining us. So not just me and Coach Christine, you will have some other familiar voices and some familiar faces joining us as well. So it's always great when we get together, really hoping that we can meet some new folks that aren't necessarily Run Disney people, because I know we have some of those folks here. We do accept you and appreciate you. That's why we're looking to do a non-Run Disney race weekend, so we can all include them on our fun for that. So I'm really looking forward just to getting together with everybody, having a great weekend, doing some little fun 5Ks and different kind of activities. And can we talk about the fact that you get a blanket from the celebration weekend?
The best blankets. Like, these are, I think, honestly, you know that I keep most of my medals underneath my bed in a Tupperware box. But the one thing that I do have everywhere around the house is my celebration blankets. And they're such a big source of pride for me. And no one else is allowed to use them because I feel like you have to earn it. So friends, you can be as weird or as generous with your blanket once you earn it as well at Celebration. But the swag at Celebration is fantastic. The after party at Celebration is fantastic as well. Again, I can't stress enough that whether you're a friend of the pack or you are a bit more appreciate and get your money's worth out of the course, the Celebration after party for the race day will also be 100% on fire, ready for you, cheering you on. We'll be there until they send us home, my friend. So it's such a great way to kind of get that aspect as well. I mean, all the way around, we really are putting this together because we want to get together with who we know is going to put that extra pep in our step that kind of satisfies and feeds our soul. And that's this extraordinary community.
Absolutely. We are so looking forward to welcoming everybody. We can't wait for this one-of-a-kind retreat. We're hoping that it's successful so we can continue doing this and bringing everybody together, whether you're here for the parks, the runs, or the community. There's truly something magical at every corner waiting for you here. And we're so excited to have you join us.
So Ashley, I'm going to ask you a few questions that people may ask to get started. From the perspective of booking their accommodation or booking the trip, what do people need to have for you? I know they have the form, but what do they have to have in terms of a deposit or a payment made, and by what date?
Yeah, so we are already booking some folks in. So to get your room secured, we just need a $200 deposit that is due at the time of booking. And then the remaining balance is due 30 days prior to check-in. So that's looking for most folks right around the Christmas holiday. So whenever you give me your dates of travel, I can get all of that information as far as the total, and then also what park days kind of you're doing. Are you doing just a 1-day park, a 2-day park, even a 3 or more day park? So it's just a $200 deposit to get that room secured. If you are just doing a 1-day ticket, I do have to collect that at the time of that reservation. But if you want to do 2 or more, that can certainly be added on your room and included in that $200 deposit. We can also add on any travel protection. We know those last minute things come up, so we can certainly add that on as well. And that is through Disney, we can offer that, or I also work with another vendor that we can certainly take a look at what option is best for you and your family.
Ashley sent me over some quotes for my recent trip to Sydney and New Zealand so that I could be protected in all of the adventures that I had planned. And again, talking about working with all the different aspects and all the different details of what was out there and making sure that I was insured in a way that protected me from flights to actual physical. And then knowing that I was in good hands, that was such a great sense of relief. It was also a great sense of relief of knowing that I had her on speed dial so that if anything did come up, I could just reach out to her and she would point me in the right direction of anything. I mean, luckily, I didn't need to file a claim, but still it was such a great experience. And it really did make me feel so much more confident. And I kind of always feel like when it comes to travel protection and travel insurance, like it's like one of the best things you could do for yourself to give you that sense of peace. So I'm a big fan of it as well.
We always hope that you never need to use it. We don't like when you have to use it, but it is there should you need it.
I feel like for me, it's almost like I'd rather have it because I feel like that almost ensures right out of the gate that I'll have a smooth trip. And so far that seems, knock on wood, to be the case for me. So we'll keep those good vibes going for everybody else as well. So again, friends, if you have questions, reach out. This is truly going to be a fantastic way to kick off 2026. What's beautiful about this is that because it is towards the end of January 2026, it also helps you to really wrap up the rest of this year with intention, with purpose, with a focus, and something to look forward to in the new year. So a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves for January 1st. Well, here you have the opportunity to get the motivation, get the support, have the accountability of something to look forward to in January. So you could start right here and now to get you through the holidays, to get you through any of those little humps that you may feel during the holiday season or whatever the case may be, because again, the community is here to support you every single step of the way. So with that said, Ashley, where can folks find you?
You can find me on social media. You can also reach out to me via email or phone number. I am always happy to chat Disney, running, life, anything.
We'll have her contact information in that form in episode notes, and we welcome you to definitely reach out. She is our pro and our partner for a reason. With that said, friends, what are you waiting for? It is a fantastic opportunity to really have an extraordinary time. So we can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to celebrate with everybody.
So friends, officially, you have been invited to step into something epic, extraordinary, and worth celebrating. So whether you're going to run, cheer, or soak in the joy, I'm going to ask you to head over to the show notes for details on how to sign up for the retreat, how to start training with me for celebration. And until then, my friends, keep making those extraordinary strides.